I hope everybody hears me well and everybody sees me and you're feeling great in this morning, even if it's a bit early at some places. um, I see that most of you are the participants of the European Rural Youth Parliament, and we will meet in less than 1 week in Spain, which is very exciting. And we thought that it would be very nice to see you and meet you also before going to Spain, and to already work on our tasks beforehand, and also see how online tools can be used for networking, as we are from so different countries and so different places in Europe. And for future cooperation, it would be useful to be aware of this kind of tools, so we can keep in touch also afterwards and work on future projects. I'm letting you know that this meeting is being recorded, and it will later be posted on the ERP Youth YouTube channel. If you are not okay with this, let me know in the email or send me a private message in this chat. And yeah, first I want to shortly tell you about what is possible here in this Zoom tool. As you see, there is the chat box. Most of you already used it and introduced yourself. You can open it by pressing the chat icon on the bottom ribbon of the screen, and then the chat box pops out on the right side. Also, you can mute yourself when you're not talking, and you can unmute yourself when you want to say something. During the meeting, feel free to share your opinion and ask questions, and get actively involved in the discussion. Also, you can stop and start the video, and so on. And a few minutes later, I will introduce you with another fancy opportunity of this tool. How is it so far? Are you feeling good? Do you hear me well? How is it? So I see some thumbs. I guess that means that everything is everything's good. Yeah. So today, actually, I will open the presentation, so you have some visual material as well in front of you. So today our task is quite responsible. We will get ready for the European Rural Youth Parliament, and we will start work on the Youth Declaration already. And just so you know, during this year we have had already 7 youth webinars where we talked about different topics, like sustainable lifestyle in a remote village in Spain. We talked about the experiences of various youth projects, about alternative education in Denmark, and you can find the recordings of those videos in the YouTube channel. I will also share the link later. This is one of the ways how we try to keep the youth from European rural areas connected, and we can have this platform for future projects and collaborations. And so I guess with no further ado, I will get to the point, and I will tell you what is going to happen today. So as I told, it will be quite of a working session, and I hope you will be ready to actively involve and share your thoughts and opinions. And it might be useful to have a computer, as I see that most of you are already joined from the computer, but it's already also fine if you joined from the phone. So today's task is to make some parts of the Youth Declaration. During the Youth Parliament, it will be our main goal to develop the Youth Declaration, where we will gather our opinions, and we will later present this youth declaration at the European Rule Parliament, which will take place right after the Youth Parliament. And later, a group of people representing all countries will go to Brussels to meet with some decision makers as well as non-governmental organization representatives. So, so a bit more about the declaration. If you remember, then well, when you were applying for the Youth Parliament, there were a field which asked which you see the most important challenges in the Europe for rural youth. And from your responses, we gather that the main 5 challenges for rural youth in Europe are diverse opportunities for economic activities, sustainable farming and food production, the infrastructure and broadband and transportation, accessibility of public services, accessibility and quality of public services, and civic engagement and political awareness. As you see, the topics are quite wide, and there is a lot of things to talk about under each of them. And this will be the task for the Parliament to dive more deeper into them. And so now I want to explain how these challenges or topics will be placed in the Youth Declaration. So the Youth Declaration will have introduction lines about what has happened, who have worked on the declaration, and what do we want it to reach. And then there will be each of the challenges stated, and each of the challenge will have a little description which will explain the problematic of why is it important. If, for example, if it is diverse opportunities for economic activities, then the description can be about that youth see urban areas more attractive because the job opportunities and the competition is more dynamic. So it is important to increase also these opportunities in rural areas and so on. And then we will during the Parliament, we will work on 2 calls for action for each of the challenges, and those calls for action will be concrete steps, concrete behaviors we expect from other youth in Europe. We expect from European level and national level decision makers and whoever we address those calls for action to. And this will be the same about each of the challenges. And the most tricky part about this is that we want to try to put this all in one A4 sheet of paper. So it must be very short and precise, and the responsibility of those participants who will carry out this declaration further to the European Rural Parliament and also to Brussels, their task will be to understand the topics more widely and explain them to others. And the task for today will be to work specifically on this part, which is the description of each challenge. So do you have any questions at this point you want to ask, or something is not clear about this, or you have some suggestions or doubts? This would be the time when you can share them, if there are any.
Everything is good.
Okay, thanks, Manuel. Anyone else wants to share something? Okay, I see that this is fine with everyone. And one thing I want to add to this is that there were all these are like the practical challenges, but there were all in your applications there were also mentioned some social challenges like gender inequality as well as human rights violations and so on. So, but we decided that those topics could be included in these challenges, as we um, need to work and work towards the success regarding those challenges, taking into account all the other issues as well, and be tolerant and acceptive and so on. So if everything is clear so far, then I will now dive into the task which will you be doing today. Okay, there are 22 participants in this meeting, and as it is more easier to work in smaller groups, we will use a special opportunity of the Zoom tool, which is breakout rooms. And in a few minutes, I will split you in several groups. You will each have a separate window where you will be able to share, you will be able to use the chat box and so on. And for each of the groups, you will have a specific task. And after you are after you are split to the group, you have an opportunity also call for help if something is not understandable or you have some technical issues or so on. So we will try to arrange this in the best possible way. And also one thing to be aware of before joining the group is that in the group you have a possibility to share your screen. As you will be working on the text of the declaration, there is a share screen button on the bottom ribbon of the screen, where you can press it and choose which screen you want to share, and then it will be visible for others as well in the group. So what are the tasks for now? Firstly, I would like you to introduce yourselves to other group members. Say your name, say the country you're from, and maybe tell a story about your last adventure, for example, in this summer, which has been the most exciting moment of your summer, for example. Then when you're done with getting to know each other, then I will invite you to share a bit about the challenge. One thing I didn't figure out before this webinar is how we will just divide the challenges, but I just came up with an idea, so I will explain you it in 1 minute. So each group will have their own challenge. We have 5 of them, as you saw in the previous slide, and you need to think about what is the good experience of yours regarding this challenge. For example, if the challenge is sustainable farming and food production, then maybe there is a good example of how you have a neighbor farm which is implementing some new ways of farming and treating the nature in a good way. It can be something very simple, just what comes in your mind when you think about the positive things regarding the challenge in your place of living. And the second question is, what must be improved? What are the not so good things you see around yourself? And yeah, you can share this with others so you can feel the temperature in the group. What are the experiences of you, and what are the surroundings of you? And the third Third will be the most important task. You will start to work on the declaration. So just do not open the link yet. I want to explain this a bit more so you do not get confused. So there will be this link to the declaration draft, and you will be able to work in this online document. And after you're done, then you'll be asked to get back to this main discussion room with all the participants, and just share in 1 minute, in few sentences, how was your experience in the little group? Did you came up with the final description, or what else you want to share? And don't worry, these tasks will be in the document as well, so you will see them and you will know what to do. So now I will show you what is in this link. So in this link, there is a Google document online, which can be edited by multiple people at the same time. And here is also the slides I showed you, so you're clear about the content. And what is the task? So there are the 5 challenges in this document, and your task is to come up with around 80 words description for each challenge. And description will be included in the declaration up under the challenge, and it will explain the problematic of this challenge. Why is it important? Why is it important for rural youth in Europe? And I want to let you know that we haven't decided on how this would exactly look like. So this is quite up to you. Here you see a lot of text. This is some information gathered by the partners, by the partner organization from 5 countries, which we invited to do. And this is what information they see important, which in their opinion must be included there. It might not be finished. This is only a draft, and those are only ideas you should take, and you do not need to take it as the final decision, but you can arrange it in a way you want. Here under the slide, I wrote an example of how this description could look regarding the length of the text, and what would be the way of expression, how this is. And this is one example. If you think it's good, you can arrange those other texts in this way as well. But it would be good. I think after some minutes of our session, I will get you all together, and we will share about what are the first ideas of yours. How do you see your challenge, and so on. And another thing is that about the English, don't worry if there is you think that the proficiency of writing is not so good. It's okay. The main point is to write the idea. It most probably will understandable anyways, and we will work on it afterwards. So don't worry about that. Just share your thoughts and share your opinion. So and now what we will do, I will divide you in the groups, and then your task in the group will be to choose the challenge which you will be working on in the group, and you will need to do it fast. in regarding the making decision, you'll need to write under this this title that the task is taken, and write the name of one person who is in the group, so we know who is it addressed to. I believe this is quite a lot of information in such a short time. I would be confused in your place. So so how does it look to you now? What do you think? Do you understand the our plan, or you have any doubts? You have any questions at the moment? And there might be some people who do not have the microphone on and it is not working, so you can use the chat option to share your thoughts. So is everything clear now, and are you ready to start with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. So now I divide you into groups, and then you go to the link. I will put it on the screen. No, I will send you notifications where you see the link, and you open the document, and then you need to choose the challenge your group will be working on before anyone else takes the challenge you were looking at. So give me 1 minute to divide you into groups. Yeah, this was quite of a challenge, I would say, for all of us. And I guess we are not completely done with the task, but maybe let's first do a little sharing about how was the work in the group, and what is the conclusion, and how far did you get with the task, and what do you think in general? Just your feelings now. Maybe one person from each group could share their thoughts.
Maybe we can start if
Yeah.
Manuel will be your spokesman, and I can share the screen that you all can see what we made a bit. So Manuel, you can share what we did.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The conclusion of our work is that we need to create or to support the social interaction, to develop community creativity. This is our main conclusion. So we need spaces to talk, to discuss, and to involve all the people young people, in fact, in the whole process, in order to create or to introduce new jobs. For example, my partner can add something about it.
Yeah, so we underlined and made in bold, and indeed we didn't make the job easier, but what we did, we made in bold those things that from our country experience is highlighted as the most important in the theme of diverse opportunities, and we will leave the precise defining it of the partners from Bosnia and Herzegovina, the responsible organization, to make the phrasing better. But this what came out, and we also added some of the other things from our countries just down there that can help for that work. But it's an interesting discussion. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anita and Manuel. Manuel, learning to pronounce Spanish names. Yeah, it looks that you have done a lot of work there, and the the partner from Bosnia and Herzegovina will have something to choose from, and we will somehow work on the final version of it. Thanks. Who could be the next one?
I can. Hi, we were working in a group, room 3. Yes, and we were working really hard and well. And I will maybe try to share the screen. We were putting everything, our description already in the Google document, so everyone can see that. Where are we? We were working on civic engagement and political awareness. Yes, here we are. And to not be influenced with the things already written down, we were working out of the description that exists already, so that we could link the both descriptions. We have pointed out several things about the civic engagement and political awareness. In general, the Youth Activism Week in all the civical engagement processes, and there are some points we pointed out why the activism this week. The firstly is about the confidence and ability to actually making changes. People doesn't believe that they could actually influence the things. Next thing is that the information about the possibilities of being civically engaged there's a lack of this information, and there's no culture of engagement among young people, and not only among young people, among everyone, especially in the remote rural areas. That something is missing. And also we thought about the leaders who are helping and who are activating the people in local areas, and we thought that maybe doing all this as a voluntary, not remunerated work is also something that we should think about and speak about, because the leaders may get tired, and if they are tired, they cannot activate other people, and it's really important to have those people bringing everyone together. Yes, I think that, and we had someone who were writing the things also in our description. We are very pleased about that. It was anonymous schools. I don't know who is this, but thank you for this input. I think it's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see that you have emphasized on a lot of topics regarding the civic engagement. It's very nice. Thank you. Maybe I can you please stop the screen sharing, Katrina? Maybe I can invite now Sarah. Sarah, can you please tell a bit about how was the experience in your group?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I was having problems with the audio, but okay. So we were talking about, well, wait, I cannot see if I can share the no, I cannot share the page of the documents.
Do you see the green share button on the?
Yeah.
And then you need to choose the window.
I think it's this one. Okay.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes, yeah. We're in charge of the infrastructure of broadband and transportation, and yeah, we introduced it as like an urgent matter that should be addressed as a multi-level and transversal approach, because it needs the action of the private sector, the public sector, and especially like civil engagement. And yeah, so the main issues are that rural areas are bad connected physically as well as digitally. They have a slow internet connection, so this mainly hinders a good education system, a good collective thinking within a community, And what I was trying to in my lab, like I'm trying to connect it to like a more political area, which is like we need to create an us within each village to have a voice. So with a weak broadband infrastructure, we clearly are like hindering back all these possibilities. I was also like trying to approach that it's very all the investment in rural development has been motivated by tourism. So it's the only motive while that political actors and private companies will actually invest in rural areas. And yeah, this basically limits a lot the approach of rural development. And obviously transport, at least here in Spain, I think there's like 3,000 villages that are like remote, considered by the European Union remote villages. And as I don't know, like ideas, I think that we should also try to adapt to the new social and political as well as economic trends. For instance, like remote jobs. In order to like work in a remote job, you definitely need good internet, good public transport, and this could be I think a good motive of investment for living in rural villages, especially for the young people. And yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you very much, Sara, for sharing. Yeah, the internet connection and the speed is very important also for us to be on this webinar today and be connected. Same about the remote jobs and other topics you mentioned. So we have 3 groups who presented. I think there is one left. Maybe some of the last group can say some words. Is it Marco or Anu? Or there was Alan as well, maybe. Or Monica?
Yeah, I'm going to. I don't know how to share the screen, but
There's the green share button on the bottom
yeah.
of your screen.
No.
I can also do it if. Okay,
Is there?
it's
Yeah.
happening. It's happening.
Okay, so first we choose another topic. We started to talk about the transportation problems, but then we saw that somebody else chose this topic, so we decided to go for sustainable farming and food production. We had Alan in the group, who is farmer himself, so he shared his experience with farming. But first we started to speak generally about the topic. So we were talking about that local products are more expensive, and on the other hand, big supermarket chains have cheaper products and are more available for people. And Alan said that farmers produce just primary products. As an example, he said that they do not have added value. For example, farmers could produce not just strawberries, but other products from strawberries, for example, juice. And then farmers need mentoring, implement marketing, help to run their own business, share experience and knowledge. As an example, Alan produces cosmetic products from donkey milk, and he says that everybody is expecting some financial support from municipality or state, but he thinks that farmers should start with small projects, become successful, and then they can ask for financial support from state. But what they need from the beginning is guidance, how to make their own business, how to run their farm, and so on. So if somebody else from the group wants to add some points, you can. Okay.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. I'm glad that you had a good example in your group, Alan, with his cosmetic products, as I understood correctly. It's very nice to have a real example to talk about. So we have discussed the four challenges. Unfortunately, the fifth one left unfinished. I hope we will manage this in another way. For your information, there is one organization responsible for each of the challenges, and we will work together to them to take into account your suggestions and your opinions, and we will try to formulate the final draft, still a draft, before the parliament. And when you will be at the parliament next week, there will be these descriptions prepared, and you will have an opportunity to add some final edits on them and make them very good. But I see that there are a lot of ideas to choose from and a lot of facts and experiences brought to the document. So thank you very much for your sharing. And yeah, that is about the challenges. And is there anyone who wants to share something and tell anything, some other questions? Okay. I think as you are special people who had an opportunity to join today's webinar, I will give you some news that today we will send out the final program of the parliament, and most probably it will be posted also on the ERP web page. And it seems to be very dynamic and interesting. We will have group sessions. We will have a panel of experts who will share their thoughts about thoughts and experience on how the challenges are being tackled in European, national, and local level. And also we'll have an amazing field trips and also some good times at the evenings of the parliament days, and we will have an opportunity to network and to become friends. Yeah, I see that there is a lot of activity going on in the group chat as well. So if you haven't joined, then you're missing a lot. So you can do that. Of course, it's not mandatory, but it's nice to be connected. I think for now, this is all from me. And if there are no other questions and comments, then I am sending you a big thank you for being today with us and working on the declaration already. And the only thing I can say is that we'll see in less than 1 week in the parliament, and I'm looking forward to have an amazing time together, and to have also a very useful outcome, which will be later used for representing the rural youth needs in other organizations and to decision makers. So this is it from me. Thank you very much, and
Thank you too.
yeah, then have a good week. Take a rest so you are you're full of energy the next week, and see you in Spain.